Hello everyone, I'm the thenthapple, and today we're going to take a look at the abandoned prison in Skyrim. A small prison, just located right here, left abandoned and desolate after, well, an event that transpired that we're going to take a look at right now. So let's go take a look. So the inside is destroyed. There's massive amounts of water leaking through a very shattered roof, no doubt some type of reservoir from the adjoining waterfall that's right beside this prison. And if we journey further down, we can actually find, just to this wall to the left here, water seeping through the bricks. And also, if we look, a chest just opened with an axe hanging outside of it, maybe someone's attempt to actually break the water and flood the entirety of the prison, which is how this whole story unfolds of the prisoners and guards within here. So going just down to this room straight ahead and then to the left, we can actually find evidence this was not only an imperial prison, and quite a good bit of evidence based on the armor and the, well, letter, but also what was going to happen to the prisoners within. We can't let prisoners out, so either kill them or let them drown. Either way, all the guards must evacuate. The storm is about to wash this whole fort into the river. I'll be damned if I have to report one Legion death under my watch. You have your orders. So it was a prison, it was full of prisoners, no duh, and the storm was going to wash the whole place into the river, and the guards decided to either let the prisoners drown or kill them. Very barbaric, and we don't know what these men actually did. They might have stolen an apple, or a loaf of bread, or they might have raped like 12 people. We don't know. We can't really pass judgment on that. So down here to the left is one of the first places you'll actually see a ghost sometimes, and here we can see the provisions they had, potions, provisions to maintain gear, and also collapsed parts of the prison that are not available to us. Now in here we can actually see 2 of the 3 ghosts that exist in here, and oddly enough, they're a lot easier to dispatch than the third one you find, and they've got very grandiose things to say. So yeah, once they're dead, we can search the remains and find the usual that you'd find on ghosts, ectoplasm, and the gear they were wearing when in life. Now this is a dead guard here, and next to him we can find the second and last note within this place, the prisoner's plan. The storm is coming, I can tell the water leaking is becoming stronger. When the storm hits, the guards will be scrambling. Amidst the confusion, we need to overpower them, block off the cell block entrance. We need to hold them off until I can get one of the swords and break open the grate in my cell. Then we'll go down and find shelter till the storm passes. So 2 of those things are important. They had an escape plan, and they were going to take shelter once the storm passed. Now, the weird thing is, they definitely didn't need a sword to break open the grate, okay? And if they had weapons to hold off the guards, why didn't they just use them instead of waiting to get a sword? Maybe it wouldn't fit in between the grate to open it, we don't know. So inside many of the cells, we can actually find skeletal remains with gold on them, oddly enough. Now, I don't think these are the skeletons that belong to the ghosts. There's 3 ghosts in here and 3 skeletons outside when they actually escaped. So I believe it's them, and I'll explain why I believe that later. So in here is a great place for leveling up your lockpicking, but you can actually find a key next to one of perhaps the deputy wardens. And to the left there, you can actually see the grate that they tried to break into. But that's not what interests us right now. What we're going to go and find now is the 3rd ghost, and probably the ringleader of this entire affair. So just through here, using the prisoner's ski or using lockpicks, you can find him to the left. And sometimes, as I pointed out earlier, you can find him a bit further on. So this is actually the best equipped ghost, okay? He's stronger than the rest, he's got better gear, so I believe this was most likely the ringleader of the entire operation. And over here we can actually find a chest with a lot of lockpicks, and there's a lot of lockpicks in here which I find very odd for a prison. Now up here is actually what I believe to be the chief warden's residence or bedding area. Now there's no more notes, but I find it weird there was only 2 guards in here because they all would have had, well, 3 actually. They all would have had weapons. So the rest of the skeletons didn't, and based on the amount of prisoners, there's a big disproportion. So there's no notes, and that's about it. We can't really find anything else on it. But in here, to this little sort of library storage area, we can actually find a book, The Song of Hrormir, that increases your 2-handed, and a chest with some good stuff in it. It will really depend on what your level is. But once again, more lockpicks, which is weird for a prison. Now, we go back to this grate here, which is just open and close, a trapdoor, which is kind of fucking retarded to put in a prisoner's cell, and why you need a sword to open it, I don't know. So this guy seems to have been maybe one of the other prisoners that tried to escape, but maybe got killed or drowned before he got out. And then, just up here to the left, we find the other corpse still in here, right next to a bag with 1 lockpick, so maybe they were trying to pick the lock of the grating that we just progress up above here. And then we find the 3 skeletons out here who I believe represent the 3 ghosts inside the prison. So 3 skeletons, they took shelter under this bridge and somehow managed to die. Clearly the storm was high enough that it drowned them, but they didn't get washed away, which I find very strange. I believe they had unfinished business and then returned to the prison to kill anybody who returned to it. All their gear seems to have went with them, which I find weird, and there's no flesh in their skeletons, which is also kind of weird. But Skyrim's odd like that. Sometimes people are just skeletons for no reason. So yes, they had unfinished business and they returned, and their escape plan was semi-successful. Or maybe they killed each other. At the end of the day, we really have no way of knowing. Mr. Goat! Oh, thank God he didn't. I thought he was going to go over the waterfall there, Jesus. He's alright though. So that's it. That's the abandoned prison. An area where people were imprisoned, obviously, and left to die from a flood. Based on the axe outside the chest and the broken wall, I think someone sabotaged it or tried to break it open. Maybe one of the prisoners after they managed to overpower the guards to wipe away the evidence. I think only 3 prisoners got out, the 3 that we've seen there, and somehow they all died. Now whether it was infighting or drowning, but you would have thought if the water was high enough to drown them, it would have washed their bodies and corpses away, so that's kind of, that's a bit of weird, probably just a bit of a stumble on Bethesda's part for the placing of the corpses, but we don't really know. So, it's a very interesting place and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other suggestions for any future episodes, please leave them in the comment section below. All support you can show on my videos in the form of like, sharing, or subscribe if you haven't already is greatly appreciated. And I hope I will see you in the next episode. And goodbye. This is the end of the episode. You reached it. Here, have a metaphysical high five. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave some feedback in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions for future content, I would love to hear them. Or just to hear you talking to me in general, because it's pretty good crack. If you want to talk to me on a more regular and or personal and or quicker level, follow me on Twitter at thenthapple. If you want to get regular updates to my content, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like? And if you want to let other people see it and help me grow, I always appreciate shares, because sharing is caring. And as always, I hope I will see you in my next episode. And goodbye.